There's a lot you can learn from Out of the Past.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Out of the Past with the Martin County Historical Society. I am Jim Marushin, and with me is our Executive Director, Lenny Tvedten. Lenny, how are we doing today?
Pretty good. What are we talking about today?
Well, we get to keep the history of a lot of different communities. One of those is Granada. So I brought some things about Granada. This is a centennial crock from Granada for their centennial celebration.
And what was Granada originally named? Handy, wasn't it?
Handy, yes, after Archie Handy. Kind of an eccentric guy, as I recall.
Yeah, he had a pet, I think I remember reading.
Mm-hmm, yeah, pet skunk, I believe.
Pet skunk, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. One of my favorite things about local history is how places and businesses, entities will change over the years. So for a lot of our younger viewers, they'll remember Granada as the Jaguars.
Sure, it's evolved.
A lot of others will remember it as the Mustangs. It's a really nice sweatshirt from the Mustang years. If you go further back to different generations, they'll remember it as the Chargers.
Right.
This is a 1987 yearbook, the Chargers.
And what are the schools that comprise the school district now?
Granada, Huntley, East Chain for sure, right. And I think for sports they maybe add a few others. And then diving even further back to the 50s, this is a letter from the Granada High School Eagles.
Wow, their names have changed over the years.
Yes, they've had a lot of changes. So that's one of my favorite things is how different generations will remember, them as the Mustangs or the Chargers or even back to the Eagles.
And they've had some really good sports teams over the years too.
They have. They won a state title for basketball 2009 maybe?
Man, not too long ago.
Sure, yeah.
I don't remember the exact date.
Very good. Well, today, Lenny, who are we interviewing?
Well, we're going to talk with Sherwood Sagedahl.
Okay.
Sherwood is a former Fairmont school counselor.
Mm-hmm.
I've known him for many, many years.
Sure.
He got into running when he was about 60 years old.
Okay.
And since then, he's set many records, both state, nationally, and I think he even has a couple of world records.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
He's really done quite a job as far as it's a passion of his.
Sure.
So.
Well, let's learn about it and take a look at the interview.
Let's go. I'm here today with Sherwood Sagedahl, a longtime friend and former colleague, and we're going to talk about his adventures in running. You're quite a runner. You've done a lot of running. How did you get started?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I retired. My intention was going to be a great golfer. Went to Arizona, and my daughter Stacy and Lori came down and visited us, and they went for a 4-mile walk, a run, I should say, a jog. They said, "You want to join us?" I said, "Well, sure." So they jogged. And after 4 miles, I didn't stop. I just kept going. They said, "What? You got to start running. You got to do 5K." So I said, "What's a 5K?" I had no idea what a 5K was. 3.1 miles. So that was kind of the start. And then we came back to Minnesota, and my first race was in St. Paul by St. Thomas University. It's called Melpomene.
Called what?
Melpomene. It's kind of a family program where they had a lot of kids run. And I took first place in my age group, which was 60 to 64. So therefore, I got a medal. And I said, "Hey, if I get medals," I mean, no, that wasn't the reason why, but, it kind of gets you fired up to get a reward. So
sure.
I got a compliment. So that was my first race was the Melpomene. That's where it started.
And how long was that race?
3.1 miles.
That was a 5K.
5K.
Okay.
Ran in about 22:46 or something like that. Had a decent time, but there weren't many in my age group there, but I had a good time.
So you run in age groups then? Is that how you compete?
That's how you pretty much, on track and field, its age group is 5-year increment. Starts at age maybe 0 to 4 and then 5 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was like 60 to 64, 65 to 69. But in road races, many times it's just your age. That's what they go with.
Mm-hmm.
So you're running against people your age when they decide who took first or second.
So you run every year? You run every year since you were 60?
Right.
So how many did you run a year about?
Well, that's a good question. I have bibs where every time you do a track meet or a road race, you get a bib. And I I don't mean to have those right over there. So
Are these the bibs you're
that's
talking
the bibs right there. So,
Yeah, let me hold that up.
so the other day, I put them all together, and then on there I wrote the date of the race was, my results, my time, my place, etc. And so you can see in chronological order. And I counted 163.
Wow.
Not many road races, but of course a lot of track meets as well. So
Yeah.
that's kind of, I can go look back in my history and say, I remember that race.
And you're still running.
I'm still on
You
there.
haven't retired from that.
Well, I went out yesterday. It's hot in heck, but
Yeah.
I worked around the house because we were having a sale, garage sale. But
Mhm.
went out to the track and I ran, warmed up for probably 10 minutes. I ran a mile. Then I went and ran 200 meters as hard as I could. Then I went and ran 100 meters as hard as I could.
Wow.
Ran 50 meters as hard as I could. And then I did another 1,500. And that was about 45 minutes to an hour of running. It was hot, but you feel better. Your blood's flowing. And
Sure.
I still enjoy the challenge.
So, since you started running, if you think back, does it make you actually physically feel better then too?
Well, I think it does. I've lost, when I retired, I weighed 185 pounds. I'm 5'10". And then I got eventually slowly, how many years? I went down to 150,
Mm-hmm.
probably about 148 right now. So when you weigh less, you have to carry less weight when you're running. So you can run faster. So take out 30 pounds and then go for a run. It's easier.
Yeah.
So, and my heart rate's been good. My heartbeat, actually at night sometimes, when my Apple Watch gets down to 35 beats per minute.
Really?
That's pretty low.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's around 40, 41. So, yeah, I think it's a healthy activity. And I haven't any knee problems, I haven't any hip problems, I haven't any joint problems. So
So it hasn't hindered you in any way then?
not really. The biggest thing has been a hamstring on occasion and a quad. But that's been about it. So I've been very fortunate. But I pump a lot of iron.
Wow.
So I got a weight machine downstairs where, lifting weights and
That's
upper
good.
body and lower body. So that makes a big difference, I think, anyway.
Sure. Well, thinking back to all your races, are there some that stand out in your mind or that are really memorable?
I have a number of them that stand out in my mind. I'll just give you one recently. In 1978, 75, I was about in my late 70s, and USA Track and Field National Organization for Masters said, we're going to have an exhibition in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for people 75 to 79 and older, between 75 and above, and we want you to run the 200 meters. So we'll give you $100 to fly in from Arizona. I was in Phoenix, fly in, and had the race, and that's 30. So got up at 7:30 in the morning in Phoenix, got to the airport at 8:30, got to Albuquerque about 9:30, got to the track about 12:30, ran the race about 2 o'clock, was back in Phoenix that night.
Huh.
So what the deal was, it was a national meet for the elite athletes in the USA. The elite athletes in the USA doing all the track and field meets indoors on a banked track. And I was one of the 75 and older running.
Boy, that's quite a...
My time coming in was 33 seconds, and that's what I basically ran. I ran the 200 meters in a bank track in 33 seconds. Took fourth place, which I was happy with. So that was a unique experience because it was a capacity crowd, and they were cheering on you, waving and hey cheer, and give a cheer. So that was a unique experience. Yeah.
It was quite an honor, actually, I would think.
Quite an honor, yeah. To be excited.
Any others that you can think of that kind of stand out in your mind?
Well, I have a number of them that do stand out in my mind. I was in Stanford University. This is 1970. And my last day was, and this is a little bit of a long story, but my last day I was going to do at 10:30 in the morning, 200 meters, semis, 12:30 to 200 meter finals. I took second in that at 29 seconds, which I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
And then at 1 o'clock, I was going to run the 800 meters in the finals. I'm running against 70 to 74-year-olds now. Anyway, after the 200 meters, I was exhausted. My heart was beating. I felt terrible. And I went to Carol and I said, I'm just going to try and finish the race. That's all I'm going to try and do, because I could take second or first, have a good day, but I am exhausted. So I went out there with the idea, if you take the top 3 spots, you get a medal. And I had a medal in all the other events I'd done. So we took off, and with about 125 meters to go, there was a guy who was in the stands told his buddy who was leading the pack, he said, "Hey, you got Sherwood, you're going to beat him." That ticked me off. So I turned it on and I beat him at the finish line. So that was a highlight because, I just got angry and did more than I thought I could do. So I ended up getting first running the 800 meters in 2:42. So I was happy with that time, yeah.
Good, yeah. What advice would you give somebody if they see this and say, I'd kind of like to do some running? Well, how would you advise somebody who might want to get into running races like this?
Well, I'd say do it, first of all, because it's fun, but take your time and make sure your heart's okay. Make sure the doctor says you can do it, because you don't want to run out there, and don't do too much at one time.
Sure.
Slowly build it up, because when I said I lost 30-some pounds, that was over a number of years. So, and I worked my butt off, but it paid off, and it's fun. It isn't about winning medals. That is not the thing. It's about meeting people. I have met people throughout the U.S. And they're not all former high school or college track athletes. A lot of people, professional people, who've got a good work ethic and say, "I want to train for this." And so it's just kind of a fun atmosphere and challenging, because it gives you some goals.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Any memorable individuals you've met that kind of stand out in your mind?
Well, there's a gentleman named Bob Lyda. He's a couple years older than me. Unfortunately, he passed away just a few years ago. But Bob Lyda was a star at Kansas U, and he ran the 800 meters and won the Big 8 in the 800 meters. 880 those days, not 800. And Bob, I ran against him many times in the 100, the 2, and the 4, and the 8, not the 8. And he was just he's 2 years older than me, but I can never come close to beating him. He's just good. So that's one person that stands out for sure.
Sure. Now you got a ton of different awards up there on the wall. Are there any that's most meaningful to you?
I'm not sure.
Probably all of them, but I mean, if there's just one that you...
Yeah. I've had some surprises. For example, one of those awards there says, in whatever year that was, I lost track of the years, between 75 to 85-year-old, I was a top athlete in the USA in track and field.
Really?
So and another age group. So I've got a few Hall of Fames, but the Middle Hall of Fame from the Minnesota Hall of Fame, didn't know the organization existed, and a guy nominated me, and that's from St. Paul, inducted a few years ago. So,
wow, yeah.
I mean, the awards are nice, and I've been up here. I had about 8 to 10 USA Track and Field Minnesota Association Runners of the Year awards. So I've won that about 8 times. So it's nice to get them, but the fun part is getting out there and doing it. That's the thing about it.
Yeah, from what you said, it just comes out that you just enjoy doing it.
I enjoy getting out there and meeting the challenge.
Sure.
The deal is, now you got to remember, I don't care how hard I work, every year I'm slower than the year before. So you want to document, do you slow down? Yes, you slow down. You will slow down for sure. And I've slowed down slowly, but this last year at age 85, 86, I had a massive slowdown. So I think when I looked at everybody else, I still rank number 1 in some events, but we're all slower.
Yeah.
So I think human beings will in the 80s.
That's life,
Are you there, Lenny?
Yeah, well, I'm getting there. I'm not going to catch you, but I'm close.
It's good to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, for sure.
So, no, it's fun, challenging, and like I said, you meet some neat people from throughout the U.S. And right now, this summer, if I continue to work at it and I can work it into my schedule, I'm scheduled to go to Des Moines, Iowa, to run in the National Senior Games Association. I should say, there's USA Track and Field Masters, and there's National Senior Games Association. Those are the 2 different track organizations.
And you're going to do both of those?
Well, I've done both for many years, but I'm saying this summer it's going to be at Des Moines, the National Senior Games Association. I have qualified to do the 50 meters, the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the 400 meters, 800 meters, and 1500 meters. So you'll have some prelims and finals over about 5 days a period, 6 days a period.
I'm getting tired just listening to that.
And I know a lot of the people doing it, so it's fun to do that.
Sure. Well, you've lived in Fairmont quite a long time. What brought you here originally?
Well, I graduated from St. Cloud State with my master's degree, and there was an opening here in Fairmont, and opening in Springfield, Minnesota. So the same day when we drove down from St. Cloud, we stopped at Springfield, stopped at Fairmont, had a chance for both communities. Chose Fairmont was a big decision, and it was the right decision. You had fortunate, good experiences and worked with some good people.
Sure.
For example, I coached, and I look back at all the coaches I've coached with. Butch Raymond, I was assistant coach with Butch Raymond.
Yep, I remember Butch.
And Butch went on to be one of the most successful college coaches at Mankato State and St. Cloud State and Augsburg. So and Butch and I were about the same age. And then I coached with Ron Hested, and Ron was a very successful coach here. So I had some great athletes and some great coaches. And just being around Tom Mahoney, Herb Wolf, icons in the state.
Yeah.
I don't care. At one time, whenever I went to the state of Minnesota, I said, "Do you know Tom Mahoney?" Oh yeah, everybody in the state knew Tom Mahoney. So, it's been a good place. Plus, there are 3 kids. I got a good education here: Lori, Stacy, and Joel, and also got a chance to participate in activities like sports and music.
Sure. So
it's not too big of a school, not too small of a school, but it was a good place.
Yeah, I think you came the same year I did in 67.
67 I came in,
And I even had a couple of your kids in 5th grade.
I think
2 girls, And in spite of a year with me, they still were successful.
Wait, I think you had a son, Joel, too.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think I had Joel.
Okay.
For some reason. And then, you were a counselor, coach. You coached basketball?
Coached boys basketball and girls tennis for a few years.
Sure.
So, mainly the assistant basketball coach. I coached 1 year head coach, but I said I'd like to be assistant, so I went back and become an assistant.
Sure.
And girls tennis, we have had some great players, so that was a fun time.
Yeah, well, I agree with you on as far as being here and being in the school system. It's been a very good experience. So, well, I appreciate it, and you've got a lot of accomplishments, and congratulations on those, and I wish you the best of luck in Des Moines and beyond that.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah. Well, I hope to continue for a while, and I don't want to quit yet. It's still so fun, but like I said, I'm slowing down, and everybody else is so too.
Know the feeling.
Wow, Lenny, that was a really incredible interview. He's just accomplished so much and only started when he was 60 with the running.
Right, and to do the interview right in his office, or all the displays of what he's done is really excellent.
All of those medals and things.
Yeah. No, he's really accomplished quite a bit. And again, like I said, it's a passion of his.
Sure.
He just has a real desire to do that, and he's done a great job with it.
Awesome. Well, we definitely thank you all again for tuning in. Join us again for another episode of Out of the Past.
There's a lot you can learn from Out of the Past.